Hello, 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 welcome back. Very different location to start the video this week, but we're going to Blackpool. Well, we're finally here and oh my gosh, not expect it to look like this. You would have seen on my little intro, but look, big old tent, walk in, ta-da! We are at Stanley Villa Farm, camping and glamping and fishing. Just unloaded everything, all my stuff out of the car after that five-hour journey. How nice, guys, how lush. So obviously we want to get fishing as soon as possible, so I'll quickly run you through our setup. So we are at bell tent number 10, which is the first one on your left next to the lakes. You have a little fire pit barbecue to have a barbecue on. This is what I'm excited for, a wood log stove. It's not going to get cold in here now, is it? And then you've got a double bed, which you do have to bring your own bed in for, but I prefer to do that. 2 bedside tables, a few rugs, a sofa bed, which is also a double, and loads of bloody space. Wow, it definitely looks like so far that this was worth the 5-hour drive. We're here until Thursday morning. It's currently Tuesday. So yeah, guys, let's get unpacked, get the rods out. Got my fishy gear on. Can't go anywhere without my fishy gear. Got the barrow packed with both of our stuffs on it. And we're gonna go give it a go, see if we can nab any fishies. We're literally just gonna go down here, have a little lead about, see if we can find any good spots, because as you can see there's not really like much to go by, only being that island. So guys, we're down at the lake, and as you can see the bell tents are just there, so not a far walk at all. Really nice. I feel safe, I feel comfortable, I love it. It's quite busy today. Fish are coming out left, right and centre. I've just spoken to a viewer. One of you guys is down here and came and said hello, and he's actually had 5 fish out already, so it's looking good. Gonna have to make up some new rigs because it's a barbless hook only rule here, and as you guys know, I'm a micro barbed girl, so we're gonna have to get them switched over, make up some new rigs, or even if I've got a couple of spinners I can just change over the hooks, and then we're gonna go for it. We've got a couple of tactics. I'll spin you around and I'll show you. So this is the bit of water that I am looking at from my swim. What we're gonna do is I'm gonna boat. Yes, I'm using my partner's boat. It's kind of gonna be like a little boat versus casting competition today. So I'm gonna put one with a boat to the island about here. Actually, I've been told that there's a dip in the bottom of the lake, literally not even a rod length out. So we're gonna flick one out literally about here, boat one to the island. Got rig number 1 here, which is a spinner with coated hook link, not boom. As this is a micro barbed hook, we're just going to have to quickly change it over, but with it being a spinner, we can just quickly change it. So there we go. I've just quickly changed over the hook and the hook bead and micro ring swivel with a barbless hook. Now I am going to be using a live system pop-up on this rig. It's because why wouldn't I? Live systems, my holy grail. It's what I can fall back on anywhere I go. I'm going to start with a live system pop-up. So there we go. Yellow live system pop-up on there. Obviously because I've got the smell and I've got the colour attraction, so why wouldn't I? Let's get this one boated over to the island. So I have put in there just some live system PVA bag mix that I've absolutely obliterated in bait booster, and that's how she's going out. There we go then, rod number 1 is out, successfully over to the island. Fingers crossed that goes off soon. It's absolutely popping off over the lake. Everybody's catching every 5 minutes, so it can't be long until it's our turn. But we've come into a problem. One of my delks is just doing that. I've tried taking the battery out and putting it back in. It's glitching. Might be doing one rod, really old school, casting and just listening out for the reel. That would be fun. Yeah, it's just not having a good time. I'm pretty sure it doesn't mean that they're dying because these are new batteries, so it can't mean that. Does not matter. The partner has saved the day and I'm using his 3rd alarm. Thank God. I've got one old school and one modern delk. On the 2nd rod, there's currently a slip D on there, but I'm going to take that off, put this spinner on, but obviously I've got to replace the hook to a barbless hook. So that's how the 2nd rig is going to be, a spinner, but this one is with boom. And just like that, guys, before I've even got the 2nd rod out, we've got one in the net. So guys, not even 10 minutes of having the rod in the water and we've managed to get one in the net. It is only £7. It is only £7, but it's absolutely stunning. There we have it. Absolutely stunning. Look at those scales. Caught on the yellow live system pop-up with the live system PVA bags mix on top of it. Happy days. Well guys, I did not expect it to happen that quick. Very glad that it did. Looks like this is going to be a very, very good session. Yeah, I need to carry on sorting out my 2nd rod, but now we also need to get that rod back out. But oh well, that does feel good. Considering all the blanks we've had, all the stresses that we've had on the new waters back down home, that feels good. Nice to get a bend in the rod, and what a stunning fish. Absolutely stunning. Only tiny, like I said, only £7, but whoa, what a fish. Going to be a proper belter when that one grows up. So we're going to get the casting rod out because we need to give that one a chance to land one now, and then we'll boat the other rig back over to that spot on the island. So on this 2nd rod that I'm casting out, I'm going to do a snowman setup. So something that I know and love and have been doing a lot recently, a boilie with a wafter topped. Now I'm going to be using a Pro Stim liver boilie, and I'm going to be topping it with a Pacific tuna wafter. So let's do that. So there we go, that one's done. Pacific tuna wafter topped on top of a Pro Stim liver boilie. That is going to get casted out literally not even half a rod lengths out in front of me, because like I said earlier, it goes. So let's do that. Baiting approach for that rod, we're just going to manually chuck over some whole boilies on top. This rod we're going to be trying to target the biggins. I think the biggest in this lake is the low 20 mark, but it's a stunner, it's an absolute stunner. So that's what we're going to try and target with this left hand rod. We're going to chuck out some whole boilies, and we're also going to put some of the house pellet they sell here as well, just on top, just because it's what they know. What was I saying in my last video, guys? Every lake I go to, every swim I go to, I get the ducks. There's no ducks anywhere else on the lake other than in my swim. Of course, like, what else would we have expected? And we finally have both the rods out at the same time. That one's freaking out already. They just put it out. Wow, that spot seems to be on fire, but just lost one. It looked about the same size as the other one, didn't it? Yeah, I think it looked about the same size as the other one. It would have been nice because they're really pretty in here, but that's what happens when you're using barbless hooks. Let's get that back to the island now. There is a lot of bait out there where I've just put it out, obviously pulled a fish in and lost it, so I didn't pull it in, that sounded really horrible then. Reeled it in and then lost it. So I'm just going to cast it over there. It's the furthest I've ever tried to cast before, so let's see how this goes. Well, I'd say that was pretty successful, don't you? Didn't know I could cast that far. A few more minutes, when I say a few more minutes, probably about half an hour, 45 minutes more down here, and then we're going to go back up to the tent, cook some dinner and have something to eat. We'll come back down to the lake and fish till dark. We've come back to the tent, brung all the fishing gear up, because we're going to have some dinner, have a little chill out. So yeah, that should be nice. We have got some firewood, some stuff to make the fire a fire, and some other wood, obviously, for that, as well as the log burner, of course. But yeah, I think tonight's dinner of choice is a spag bowl, which we have not had while fishing for a very long time, so that should be fun. Let's get cooking. We forgot plates, so we cannot eat food on anything, so that'll be good. Imagine trying to eat a spag bowl off of our laps. So we've got to go to the shop to get some plates. It wouldn't be a UK fisherwoman fishing trip if we didn't forget something now, would it? So we went to the local shop, which was Aldi, and they had no plates whatsoever, so we've just decided to get a Burger King. Of course. can't say that that was the worst choice of dinner to have. I was heading to the loo, and I thought I'd show you what they look like, because for a campsite, I'm thoroughly impressed. So it's just like this building on wheels right next to the tents. Obviously, ladies and gents. But look, they're actually really, really nice. Obviously, other than the friends, but you have that everywhere you go. But now, what we're doing is we're gonna go fishing again, back at the lake. Fingers crossed we can get a couple more before we go to sleep. That spot seems to be really good. It does seem like we've got a boat over there for it to be successful, so a little bit of a long one, but it's worth it. No. Back down at the lake for a few hours. What I am going to do is I'm going to switch over both of the rods to the yellow live system pop-up for obvious reasons. It clearly is doing well on here to get 2 bites and land one. But let's get this one switched over. Right, so boated that one back out onto the spot. Now I'm thinking with this left-hand one, I'm thinking I walk it down the margin, drop it in, and then bait and then walk back down, obviously because I'm very far away from the spot. There'll be no noise disturbance, and apparently the margins do really, really well, so I think that's what we're going to do with the left-hand one. I'm thinking I drop it here, just be quiet, but I'm going to put it there, put some boilies on top, bring it back down, pop it on the alarm, and then fingers crossed, same thing happens as it did earlier. So, both the rods are now out again for a couple of hours. Feels so good being able to go backwards and forwards from your tent. Obviously it's not like normal fishing, but obviously it feels a bit more homely because it is like a second home in there. Fingers crossed we can get a couple before we go and chill out around the fire pit for the evening. Well, it's definitely getting a little bit chilly and it's definitely getting a little bit dark. It doesn't look like it'll be long and we'll be going back up to the tent to chill out, but I'm excited to get up bright and early tomorrow, hopefully, and get out here and fish all day. So that should be good stuff, but oh yeah, it's getting cold. So back in the tent now. It's about 9 o'clock, so quite late. I don't know if we're going to be doing a fire or not. Are we putting a fire on, Reese? What we're going to do is we're going to put the fire on that's inside the tent, sit in, watch some Netflix and chill out for tonight and just chill because we've done a lot of travelling and a lot of fishing, so it's been a really full-on day. Chill out and then wake up fresh tomorrow and proper go for it and hopefully have a haul of fish. So yeah, I shall see you in the morning. Good morning, guys. It's definitely not bright and early. Like I said, I was going to be getting up bright and early. When do I ever do that? I did wake up at about 6:30 this morning and the rain was absolutely torrential. I'm on holiday. There's no way I'm getting up in the rain and faffing about. Good thing though, our bivvy is already in our swim. So we've got that swim, that swim and that swim to occupy. So that's always good. So at least we've got somewhere to fish from straight away. So it's about 9 o'clock in the morning. We're allowed to fish until dark. So We've got a lot of time to fish, and if it's anything like yesterday, we should have no troubles catching. But what I am doing currently is, one, we forgot plates yesterday, so we couldn't eat our dinner. Second of all, we forgot mugs, so we can't have a cup of tea. But they do have this like communal lodge area. So I've come into the kitchen and I'm trying to find some mugs, if they have any. So yeah, this is like the little communal lodge area where you can come and eat your dinner, sit. They've got vending machines. Also got fridges where you can all come and put your stuff, so it all stays nice and cool. And then if you come over here, this is everything that you can get from here. Unfortunately don't have any mugs, but I did see that on the price list that you can buy a cup of tea for £1.50. So I might just have to do that, but I think it might be cash only. I have card. Guys, when am I ever prepared or like, yeah, just fully equipped for a session? Never. But yeah, right next to the pods is the shop. And this is where you can come to buy your ice cream, sweeties, sparklers, extra bits for the kids, food. Oh, yeah, I'm not bad, you. I would have showed you guys that I got my teas, but obviously both my hands were full. But yeah, got 2 cups of tea for £3, and then obviously I can use the cups for our own teas. I even make a fishing list. Every time I go on my phone, I write a list of what I can't forget. And then I go around, pick it up and tick it off. And I still manage to forget at least 3 things. So I'm gonna sit here, drink my tea, and then get straight down to the lake, boating my rig over to the island. Finished my cup of tea. Now it's time to get the fish and stuff ready and head over to the lake. It hasn't rained since it was heavily raining this morning, and it's looking good out there. A couple people on the lake. It's nowhere near as busy as it was yesterday. And also you're just going to have to try to ignore the wind. I still haven't got a microphone. Sorry. So, back down at the lake with all the gear. It's a lot busier since I last spoke to you, so we're going to have to get 4 rods into this one swim, but luckily the swims are really big. So essentially you have from the white fence to the white fence. It is quite a big space. Obviously Reese has backleads, so he can backled his, and then essentially there's only 2 lines going through the water, so it's not really too much of an issue. And we still have island priority, so happy days. Inside the bivvy, because it is very windy. It's probably still a little bit windy, but you can definitely hear me better than out there. Got that rod out onto the spot with the boat. Now it's time to sort this rig out. So I've got just a plain hair rig on here at the moment because I had a bit of a shambles last night and I ended up losing a rig, and then I just quickly made one of these for the last half an hour. Now what I have now is another boom, but obviously I need to add my anti-tangle sleeve, and I'm going to be using bait screws for this session. Normally I'm a bait floss person, but it's just 10 times easier given with the wind and lighters. Everybody knows the struggle. Another thing, guys, I'm not going to be kind of sitting here talking, going in detail step by step what I'm doing as I normally do in all my other videos, because where this is going to be quite a lengthy video as it is, I don't want it to be like 2 hours long of me just waffling. And I'm planning to catch a few fish, so that's going to put some time onto the video as well. So slightly different video, but as you can tell, it's a nice one. There we go. Anti-tangle sleeve is now on the rig, and so is the long bait screw. Reason being, so on the rod that's already out, we've got a single yellow live system pop-up. It's what we caught on yesterday, so it'd be stupid not to put one of them out. This one we're going to be using kind of like a snowman setup. Try and get a big in. I've been told that, so to the left of the island goes to about 11 foot, to the right of the island goes to about 15, 16 foot, and that's where the bigger ones obviously hold up. It is sunny, so I'm not thinking they're going to be like in 15 foot deep. I do think they might be within the 11 foot sector, in case of where we can kind of go with that. But I think we're just going to chuck this one out in the middle, not too far out, not too close in, put some boilies over the top. Yeah, try and get a chunk on this one. So, rods are out. Let's see how it goes today then, and I shall keep you updated as of when the rods light up. Fingers crossed. Just lost one. My bobbin hit the floor. I went and picked it up. There was a little bit of weight there. I think I fought it for about 2 seconds and it pinged off. So that's just the way that it is down here. I mean, I'm not used to fishing with barbless hooks, and I'm definitely not used to fighting fish all the way out there. So that's just the way it is. But let's get it back on the spot. So let's get this one back out onto the spot then. So I've just put some of their house pellet in there with some of my CCMOORE live system PVA bag mix. I'm just going to go out there like that and hope that we can land the next one. That's 2 lost, 1 land. Horrible feeling, but that is what it is when you're using barbless hooks and fighting fish at such a distance. Both things never done before, never used barbless, never fought fish at that distance before, so at least I'll be able to take home a few skills from this trip if I don't take home a few catches. It's been very quiet since I just lost that fish, so obviously I'm going to leave that rod to the island because that spot just seems to be producing ever since yesterday. And then what I'm going to do is I am going to move my right hand rod and I'm just going to bring it a little bit closer in, I think, and then put a bit more bait on it and see what that does. The unimaginable has just happened. Like, I have no effing words for what has just happened. My rod absolutely screamed off, got pulled, it pulled my butt rest out of my pod, and my rod is now gone. In the water, absolutely gone. I don't know what to think or feel. I'm absolutely heartbroken. Reese got his marker lead out with the prongs and just started casting. And look what we have with my butt rest attached. What a bloody day. What a bloody day. To be honest, guys, before I even got this back, I wasn't even fussed about this. I wasn't fussed about the rod and the reel. What I was fussed about is the fact that that was most likely one of the 2 big uns in here, either Lexi or the Sturs. But we've got my rod back. What the actual... I have absolutely no words. Like, what is my life? I still have my rig, my lead, I have everything. And the butt grip. I just don't have the fish. It was more than likely one of the big 2, but we're going to put it back on the spot with the drag mega loose. And we're going to try and do that again, but not lose the rod. Just been back up to the tent to get another jumper because my arm was soaking wet. Because I did try and dive in for that rod. I didn't just watch it fall in. I did try. And I've got myself a Beveragino because was that stressful. So I'm just going to get this left hand rod back out to the island with some fresh bait on it, as it hasn't had any action in a long while. What I'm going to do is we're going to put some of the live system PVA bag mix in it, and we're also going to put some Pro Stim liver boilies in it as well. Obviously, because I was feeding whole boilies around that right hand rod that had just got ripped in. And it does make sense that that was one of the bigger ones. So that is exactly how we've put it out. I've put some of the PVA bag mix in the bottom, then I've crushed some of the boilies, then I've put some whole in there, and then I'm going to get some of the garlic goo that they sell up at the shop here, and I'm going to put it all on the top there, again because it's what they know and it's what they love. Got that one back out on the spot. Fingers crossed one of them goes off again. But also what has really intrigued me, which I didn't think would intrigue me at all, is there's £3. Go on. There's £3 roach in here. £3 roach. I wouldn't mind a £3 roach, I'll tell you that for sure. Don't get that down south. It's been really quiet, to be honest. Everybody else is kind of catching. I feel like my fun's over. I've lost 3 now. Land 1. One of them I had no control over. Obviously, it took my rod in, and the fish took the rod in, so I had no chance with that. But the other 2 were hook pulls. I'm just not used to fishing with barbless hooks, guys. That's all it is, really. I think what we're going to do in a minute is we're going to go and have a barbecue. So Reese has just gone up to the shop to buy disposable barbecues, because you can actually buy disposable barbecues like I was showing you earlier. There's loads of bits and bobs that you can buy to use and have fun with up here. And we're going to have some burgers and some sausages and a little barbecue in a minute. So give it another, say, half an hour for the rods to kind of do their thing, and then after that we'll go up and have a little barbecue. Go on. So we have a barbecue, like I was saying, and he's also brought back a s'mores kit. So we've got marshmallows, chocolate and biscuits and sticks, and we can make little s'mores. Back in the tent now, hungry, so we're gonna have our barbecue and then go back down and fish, obviously. What else would we do? Quiet afternoon of fishing. Well, afternoon of fishing. It wasn't a quiet afternoon, there was a lot of carnage, but no fishies. Well, we're trying to light the barbecue, but it's appearing to be hard with the wind. Tire that. I think we've done it. I think we have successfully lit the barbecue. Well, that was a lovely dinner for the last evening of our trip here. It's about 4 o'clock now, so we're going to go down, do a few more hours fishing, fish to about 8, half 8, and then come up, sit around the fire pit. So the last 4 hours of our fishing time here at Stanley Villa Farm, I am going to be just chucking them out, half a rod length out in front of me, exactly the same kind of line where I had that bite and it nearly took my rod forever. Main reason being, obviously I was feeding whole boilies, it was a snowman setup, it ripped off and clearly, like you all saw, pulled my rod into the lake, so it had to have been one of the big ones. So we're just going to flick both of them out in the same line, about a rod length, maybe rod length and a half distance from each other, and then hopefully we can haul a big one in before we leave. Right, so the snowman one, I have put a live system wafter on, and then I've topped it with an imitation sweet corn. Now, this is how I fish down south, back home, all the time, every lake. I'll always give this hook bait tactic a go. So it would be rude not to give it a go down here. So that's how that one's gonna go. Just need to put some putty on it. And then this one is literally just staying the same, but I've put a fresh one on there. So let's get them both out. Now they're set for the evening. Come on, we need more than a 7-pounder for this session. Obviously we would have had 4 fish, but I've lost 3, only landed the 1, which is very depressing. I've put my rods in more of a wash and line method because I've literally got them flicked out only about here. So it makes more sense for there to be less line in the water. Makes sense in my head. We're in. Let me get the net. Yes! Reese had fish! Woohoo! There we go then. A nice common. So at least we've had 1 mirror, 1 common. Really nice. Been quiet since Reese had that fish, and mine have just been quiet the whole time. Just flinged one to the island because we do see a big one keep coming out and kind of showing signs that it's feeding, so I have just flinged one over there. How long have we got left now? Got about an hour and a half of fishing time left. Fingers crossed we can get another one, but at least we both haven't blanked. So back down at the tent, and that's our fishing done for our time here at Stanley Villa. At least we both caught and none of us blanked, so that's always good. Now it's time just to chill out. I think we're gonna pack up the car so that we can have a lay-in tomorrow, and then we're gonna sit around the fire and have some s'mores. Got the fire on. Now we just need to let it burn, and then we can get our s'mores kits out. What a lovely way to end a lovely trip, sat around a campfire. We have all of our s'mores stuff ready to have on the fire. I've never actually done s'mores before, so this will be interesting. Was delicious. I didn't think I would like a s'more because I'm not a massive fan of marshmallow, but that was lovely. So it's about 10:30 now. We've done near enough everything that you can do here at Stanley Villa. So we've packed the car up all ready, so we don't have to do that in the morning. We can have a nice lay-in, and then the nice 5-hour journey back tomorrow morning. Which is going to be fun. I will see you in the morning, but that's me for tonight. Good night. What a lovely few days that was then. It's nearly 10 o'clock now. Check out's 10:30, so got to get our move on, get going, ready for the next people to come and enjoy the tent. I'd say we'd had a successful sessions of fishing as well. Lost 3, land 1. I did, and then Reese obviously land the common. So it's not too bad. I'm not used to fishing with barbless hooks at all, and especially fighting the fish at such a distance. Something that I'm definitely going to have to figure out and learn to master for when I do come and fish these big waters. But what an absolute lovely time away. I did not expect it to be this nice. Guys, go check it out. I'll pop the link in the description. Stanley Villa Farm, camping and glamping and fishing. Go check it out, and I'll see you next time.